first time in this environment, it seemed like you handled it pretty well. What was this experience like?
It was a good experience. Wish the outcome would have been different. I wish I would have got the win with my team, but we just gotta stay poised in those situations and stop fouling so much, because that's what we did, and I think that's what lost us the game. So we just gotta stay poised and stay disciplined on defensive end, and maybe we would have got the win.
They were making a run, and you stayed poised and made some big buckets. Like, how do you stay within yourself? Like, where'd you learn that? How'd you develop that?
I would just say that's my personality. That's the type of person I am. I never get too high, never get too low. So just staying poised and trying to keep my teammates poised as well, and then just keep the bench poised. And if we do that in games like that, we can pull it out.
Came out in the second half. Did you feel kind of more comfortable there, or how did you kind of get acclimated to the game?
I feel like I just kind of got going a little bit. Coach ran some sets for me. I just got going. A couple of our players got going, and we just started running more of our sets, and I feel like that was working for us at the time.
You mentioned fouling too much. Just why do you feel like you guys couldn't stop doing that maybe in the second half?
I just feel like we weren't being disciplined. Like we weren't sticking to our principles and the things that we work on, and our players got to know we can't have them in foul trouble. So if they make a tough shot, they make a tough shot. We can't have them just fouling just because. So I feel like we just got to stay disciplined and stick to our principles.
You guys haven't been in one of those nail biters down the stretch in a while. Is there anything you can learn from that going forward, that just being back in that experience?
Like I said, Coach Brad, he got on us about a loose ball we didn't get, a couple loose balls, and we got to have stuff like that, especially in nail biters. That's like the will to win. That's like one to win, especially on the road. So we got to fix that, and then, like I said, we just got to stop fouling so much.
What did you think of the intensity in this game, Illinois, Iowa, your first experience in it?
Two good basketball teams. It was pretty high intensity. I feel like we played pretty good defense. I feel like they're like a really good offensive team. So I feel like it was pretty good intensity, but it came down to the stretch. We made a few mistakes, and they got the win.
Jayden, the ball has been in your hands more over the last month. How have you grown in that role, and just what's this been like to kind of have that role?
I would say I've grown by just watching a lot of film and just, like I said a few weeks ago, Coach Underwood just throwing me out there, trusting in me. So I appreciate him for that, for trusting me and throwing me out there. And I feel like that's the best way to get experience and get good at playing my position, just getting thrown out there and then watching film with coaches countless hours of film.
He mentioned you as a leader of this team. Do you feel like you've been taking that on a little bit more?
Yes, sir. I feel like that's going to be my next step going forward. One of my biggest steps is being a leader. So leading the team, telling everybody where to go, spots they got to be in, and like moments like that, keeping them poised and keeping them calm.
I think you really took off in the second half. Sorry, were you going to?
Oh, no,
you really took off in the second half. What was maybe said in that locker room or something that really stepped up for you and just really find the basket?
I just feel like we were kind of like the first half. We were kind of like we actually played pretty good defense the first half, but our offense was kind of slow. So I just feel like we had to get going some way, and we started running sets. We started getting movement. The ball started moving more, and we got going. But I just feel like we kind of lost our principles on the defensive end. So that's the end we were focused on, and we made a few mistakes, and that's what lost us the game.
I guess how different has the college level been from high school for you? What's kind of allowed you to make that adjustment?
I would say the physicality, the speed of the game, and just the overall time you got to put into the game. It's a lot more than high school basketball, and I'm kind of loving it. So I feel like that just the time that you got to put into scouting and things like that, and being in the gym, it's a lot more different than high school.
Jayden walked me through the last play there, and it seems like you had a pretty decent look to tie it. It got partially blocked, right?
Yeah.
Was there consideration to call a timeout or just let it play out? Or
Yeah, Coach, he told me if it was the open floor, don't call a timeout. I would just try to get an open shot. And I just tried to get one up because we were down 3. So, and I know it was like 2 seconds left, so I tried to get one up, and it didn't fall for me.
Coach Jayden said, or Coach said the offense is really cooking today. Don't you feel like that? I mean, even though you came up with a loss, there were a lot of positives with you and Meyer and Danger inside.
Once we start running sets, we got a lot of players that can get going, and it can be any of our nights. So that's not really the thing that we're really focused on offense, because we got a lot of players that can get going, a lot of sets we can run. We're really focused on defensive end, just staying disciplined.